Hi, my name is Leilani and I am a former public and private school teacher. I am now a homeschool mom of 4 kids, and I also evaluate homeschoolers for the state of Florida. So I look at a lot of curriculum. And I am going to do an unboxing of The Good and the Beautiful and my first impressions of level 4. Yeah, I totally caved. Totally caved. But I did cave with some research. I was a little hesitant about getting this curriculum. I'm gonna talk about that later, but first I wanna give you some impressions, and I'm gonna look at it, honestly, through an academic eye from my public and private school experience, as well as a homeschool mom eye, and as well as a believer. So why am I only getting level 4 for one of my kids and not kindergarten, first, second, third? A couple reasons. One, I wanted to try it out because I have been a little hesitant about using it. 2, I've heard that K1, 2, 3 are very teacher intensive, and if you have followed my channel at all, you know that I don't need to be doing a homeschool curriculum that's teacher intensive right now. And I felt that of all my kids, the 4th graders, he needs something like this. Let's put it that way. So here it is. It's as big as my head. Nope, bigger than my head. That's my first impression. Now, I've asked a lot of my friends, and all of them say like I should just go for it. Dive into it. It's really, really good. It's not The Good and the Beautiful for nothing. It's good and it's a beautiful curriculum. Now, The Good and the Beautiful, out of all curriculum that I've ever experienced, seems to have more controversy surrounding it. Ginny Phillips, all right, she's the one that kind of oversees The Good and the Beautiful, and she is a Mormon. There is a lot of debate. Mormons aren't Christians versus Mormons are Christians, okay? It's huge, huge. I have been very hesitant to use The Good and the Beautiful because I do not agree with Mormonism. I am a believer. I am a Messianic believer. I agree with Christians. Now, with that being said, it has been very clear with many YouTubers, even on their website, The Good and the Beautiful is not just written by Mormons. It's written by a lot of different backgrounds, from Pentecostal to Seventh-day Adventist, yes, to Mormonism, to Catholic, to Protestant, Presbyterian, Baptist. So this is not just Mormonism, okay? However, it still makes me a little nervous. There's also that whole other thing with the Constitution and The Good and the Beautiful. I know that I purchased this curriculum before that went down. I've been a fly on the wall with that conversation. Me, fly on the wall. Okay, so I'm opening it up. I like the fact that it is spiral bound. When it's spiral bound, you can always turn it this way, right? And if you're left-handed, the spirals don't bother you that much. Just throwing that out there. Just looking at the level 4 at a glance, if you can, there's a lot of stuff there. Not just, a lot of detailed stuff, but there's a lot of stuff, general ideas that they're covering. Geography and art, you get the grammar, punctuation, writing, reading, spelling. Now, I am going to say this with my 4th grader, I am having him do IEW because I did hear that the writing with Good and the Beautiful wasn't as strong as IEW. Plus, I'm a huge IEW fan. So we've been on that bandwagon with them for a while, especially for the early ages. And I'm gonna keep going on that bandwagon. I did not order the writing and spelling book. When it comes to spelling, first, my kids are really strong spellers. So I don't feel like I have to push the spelling. However, I'm probably gonna supplement with something like Evan Moore here and there. Okay, so about this course, level 4 course book, level 4 spelling and writing workshop, which I didn't get. Level 4 personal reader, which I actually did get level 4 personal reader. And then the level 4 world biography readers. Books of your choice from the Good and the Beautiful book list, which I've seen that online. Okay, so tracing paper, it says we need chalk pastels. Okay, art tape, workable flexible spray, cotton swabs. So it looks like we are doing a lot of art. So subjects, art appreciation, art and structure grammar. I don't feel, I kind of knew there was a little bit of that art stuff in there, but I don't really feel like, I don't know if I'm gonna do it all. Because I like to do art when I'm in a unit study. I really feel like I'm more Charlotte Mason unit study this year, to be honest. Course principles connects multiple subjects. Connecting multiple subjects give, okay, I get that, cross curriculum. We did that in school too. Emphasis on the good and the beautiful, God, family, nature, and high moral characters. Okay, I feel like we're getting a little bit of the Charlotte Mason influence in here. So we get that. I agree. This is like my philosophy in general. Like, seriously, I love books and I love reading and I love nature, so we're good. With level 4 and above, the children will practice self-governance and do much of the learning on his or her own. Yes! That's what I need. The lessons are designed to be engaging and clear, and they go in small, incremental steps so that the child is not confused or overwhelmed, which is something that I had a problem with master books, okay? It went in small steps, but it didn't give you enough to fully master the idea. It did a lot of skipping around, and my children were confused by it. So this is good that they're saying exactly what I need. Parent teachers should check the child's work on a daily basis. Okay, I can handle that. I can handle that. Okay, so I'm going to learn about the artist. That's great, as long as I don't have to get the messy art supplies out all the time. Because I like to get them out. I just like to do it on my terms. And when I'm inspired, or when they're inspired. Some lessons focus mainly on art, while other art is integrated within the language arts, geography sections. Okay, hands-on art projects. Okay, I might have to just suck it up. We'll see what I do. Length of daily work. All right, 2 to 4 minutes. With the parent-teacher section, 2 to 4 minutes. I think I can handle that. 30 minutes student section, 20 minutes personal reading. Okay, that's a lot. That's a lot. So I'm gonna dive into Unit 1. So they give me a nice little overview, kind of like a scope and sequence thing. As everyone says, beautiful pictures. It's a nice picture of a guy making something out of clay. I wouldn't call it beautiful at this point, but it's a good picture. Look at that, a reference to Charlotte Mason. So we're in the same kind of mindset here. Okay. So follow the instructions on the page of this course book to pre-test the challenging spelling words for the unit. Check the child's work when this lesson has been complete. Read the section. So they're going to read this. And one of the vocabulary words is creative. Okay. Reading checklist. Fill in the blank based on the article you just read. Singular possessive nouns. Okay. There is some explanation. Awesome. Add an apostrophe and S to show possession. Okay, good. They have some editing in there. Nouns, verbs, and adjectives, reviewing some grammar. So this feels very grammar vocabulary-y. But then it says, for 20 minutes or more, read a book from the Good and the Beautiful book list, then answer these questions. Are the page numbers in your book on the header or the footer of the pages? Header is the top, footer is the bottom. Oh, cool. That's cool to learn. Is your book set in modern times, today, or historic? Okay. Good to know questions. I'm wondering how these readers come into play. Haven't seen that yet. Okay, kind of excited. There's some diagramming in here. Diagramming. There it is again. Diagramming. That is something that I really want my kids to learn, is diagramming. Why on earth do I think it's important to learn diagramming and grammar? Okay. It's really good to help them learn foreign languages. So if you're someone that wants your child to read the Greek or the Hebrew from scripture, if you learn how to diagram, that's going to really help you when you're learning those languages. Another thing that I'm really liking as I'm skimming through this curriculum is, so Charlotte Mason, they do picture studies. So you're looking at, pictures and you're talking about the artist and why they did what they did and how they paint, all that stuff. I don't have to go looking on the internet for pictures. They're in the book. I really like that, actually. There is geography. Yeah, that's kind of cool. And it's like it's just a nice little overview, and you got the flag, and then it's all in here. I don't have to go to the internet or check out a bunch of books at the library like I usually do. The second thing I finally figured out when they use the readers. So there was, in this chapter right here, they talked about the book, right? They have the kid read this little introduction section right here. And in the next lesson, they actually have her reading from the book, or him reading from the book. So it says reading assessment right there at the top, reading assessment. So it says, read chapter 1 in your level 4 personal reader, then underline all the correct answers. The personal reader. I like personal readers. It's in black and white. I personally like color, but I know a lot of students need black and white. It's a 4th grade book, definitely. I'm hoping my son will like these stories. There's a part of me that is a little bit nervous about these stories because I haven't read them before and I don't know what's being taught in the stories. I know it says good moral character, but there's a part of me that's really nervous about it still, but I will let you know what I think. Okay, another thing that I think is really cool is they're actually teaching him how to use art supplies. And it's not like making a giant mess on my floor, because that happens. He teaches him how to shade and draw an apple. We did buy an art curriculum for the boys on, I think you call it Udemy or Udemy. It is still really cool that they're teaching that in this book. There's a whole thing on national parks in here. That kind of catches my eye. Okay, they have a whole section on Monet. Once again, I don't have to go on the internet to find pictures. They're all in the book. The way in which they're teaching the grammar in this book is very sequential, and they are going back and reviewing it, and it does appear to be very straightforward. My first impressions on this. To be completely honest, I probably should have really, really looked through the book because I'm wondering if I should have purchased it at all. Not because it's not any good, but because I'm wondering if I'm doing too much for him in the academics. So what I was kind of looking for, I don't know, maybe it's just filling in some gaps. I don't really know until we try, right? I don't know. And I think there's more variety in the book than what I usually pick and choose for him. So I think that's going to be good for him. But I'm wondering if I'm doubling up because I am going to be doing a lot of real books. Because I'm unit studying it up. I'm just going to be honest. We're doing ancient Greece. We're doing astronomy, a unit on astronomy. We're doing the U.S. Constitution and government. So all of those are different topics. So, and this is covering something more. And it has diagramming. Fix-It Grammar doesn't have diagramming. I do see some similarities between this and master books a little bit at first glance, which makes me a little bit nervous. And that's the kind of, I don't know, elements. The pattern is the same, but I think the in-depth that you go with the good and the beautiful is going to be a lot more than it was with master books. So we'll see. I have a lot of questions. That I'm going to be asking of the curriculum as we go through it. Overall, I mean, it looks good. I don't really know. I can't really, it's said that everything, like the grammar, I love the diagramming, I love the fact that and everything that I already told you. I don't know how it's going to fit with my son. I'm kind of curious to see what happens. Let's stop right here. I have decided to sell the Good and the Beautiful Level 4 Language Arts curriculum. I packed it up this morning. I was going to return it, but their return policy was kind of a little bit I don't know, I wasn't sure I was going to get all the money back, and they didn't pay for shipping, and they suggested priority mail as opposed to flat rate media mail. So I decided to sell it, but I'm going to tell you why. I have really only one big reason why I decided to sell The Good and the Beautiful. Well, I came to realization that I bought The Good and the Beautiful because I saw it online from other YouTubers. I saw it advertised, saw it talked about, heard it mentioned with my friends as being the end-all be-all curriculum. It has everything you need ready to go, which is true. It does have everything ready to go. But it felt like there was something in this curriculum that I needed that I wasn't getting from what we were doing. And it was like the best curriculum. It was wonderful. And so I bought it strictly because everybody said it was good and because it was trendy, and it was because I felt like I was missing out on something. That The Good and the Beautiful was going to solve all my problems, despite the fact that I had reservations about it, despite the fact that the controversy stuff, the U.S. Constitution stuff came after I had already purchased it. But I had reservations. Something just wasn't sitting right with me about this curriculum. I watched many, many YouTube videos. I read about it online. I mean, it looked great on the YouTube videos, especially with the enthusiasm of the influencer. I mean, that's why they're so popular, right? Because we're enthusiastic about stuff. But they were enthusiastic about the good and the beautiful. Doesn't mean that I'm gonna be enthusiastic about the good and the beautiful. So when I got my hands on it and I can look at it from cover to cover, I can see the order in which that it was written, the sequencing, okay, we did this over here, how are we gonna review it over here? When I was able to see all of that in that order, I realized, one, I'm already doing that. Why do I need to do it again? I also realized that scattering different, topics throughout language arts is not my style. I am a unit studier. I soak in the unit. If I really get down to thinking about it, why am I buying a curriculum that I don't feel right about because of the Mormonism, because there's a lot of controversy, as well as many other things? Why am I buying a curriculum that I don't feel right about when I now know that I can find that same exact stuff in other curriculum out there? Why did I do that? That is FOMO in its finest. Fear of missing out. I don't want to be that right now.
Mommy.
And so,
Mommy.
in retaliation of being that, we are going to go sell the curriculum. So thank you guys for watching my video. I hope that you learn not to be FOMO from this video because I'm being very transparent with you guys. Even someone like me who has a system in place, who's comfortable with how we do our homeschooling and confident, I still get sucked into it. I now know that I can have confidence in what we're doing, and for future reference, not to get sucked into the FOMO thing. Not to feel like, there's so much out there curriculum-wise, tons of curriculum. I can't do it all, and I never will do it all, and plus it just repeats itself anyway. There's so many different curriculums that just are the same. They're the same. So that's what I've learned, and I hope you guys can glean from this. Be you. Don't get sucked into thinking you're not doing good enough, because 99.9999% you probably are. So have a good day, guys. I'm gonna go return this, and I keep saying return this. I'm gonna go sell this, make more money selling. I'm gonna go sell this, and I will see you in our next video. Bye.